Oh, hi guys, welcome back to the stream. Welcome to another day, another channel, another video, another continuation of the Master Grade Sazabi Verka edition by Bandai. This guy right here, yeah, big honkin' box for a big honkin' guy. That's right, bang, crash. This is the instruction booklet, just in case. Fits a little better on the screen, right? Well, what have we done so far? We are now on part 3. And last night, we finished up getting the body assembled, okay? Now, as I mentioned before, I'd already built one of the arms and the shoulders, okay? So I've got these already assembled, and that's great. But you guys didn't get a chance to see it. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to assemble the arm and the shoulder piece. This happens to be the right arm, so we're going to work on the left arm. And that's what we're going to get done today. Okay? So, this is all the body section. That is complete. We did the head yesterday. It's always nice to have the head. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that, and I won't say any more about that. Yeah, so we are going to start on the arm. Now, of course, in the book, we start with the right arm, but there's a few things where we have to make two of, okay, because they're going to be the same, both the left and the right. And so that's what we kind of got to do, a little bit here, and then we're going to go to suddenly the number 4 is the left arm, okay? And yeah, and then we've got the upper shoulder piece to put together. And so that's what we're going to get done today, okay? As long as it takes, that's what we're doing. If it takes 2 hours, it takes 3 hours, whatever. I can always just edit the video, which, by the way, I am going to change up a little bit today. Every time that I'm cleaning up a part, I'm just going to go quiet and make my editor's life a little bit easier, so that you guys don't sit there watching me cleaning up parts so much on the YouTube channel. So on the YouTube version, stuff like that will be edited out. You guys who happen to be watching me live, well, you get to suffer through it. Yeah. Okay, so what do we need? We need stuff off of the P tree, and P and T. T happens to be the little rubber parts, the polycap tree. So we're going to need stuff off of that. So I need to grab P and E, and B happens to be right here, and H, okay, so, and A, and K. So P, B, peanut butter, A, K, 47, H, yeah, okay, so let's dig into this. We have our A. Now you notice a lot of the stuff off of this A1 is already taken off, so that means a lot of this is going to be off of the A2, like this piece here for sure, and a couple little things, just because of the nature of it. We've got lefts and rights, and so what Bandai does, A1 and A2, a lot of times it's going to be like A1 will be for your right hand stuff, and A2 will be your left. You got two trees that are basically the same, right? So A, what else do I need here? After all that, what do I need? P. Yes, okay. So P is similar thing. This one's pretty much empty, but we have two P's. We got PP. Yeah, I am an adult, really. I am. I'm grown up. I just don't act like it sometimes. What else do we need? We got the T, P, B is there, E. There's not a lot on the E trees. It's not too much. They're pretty small. And really all I'm going to be using is like this piece, I think. Where did I see the E? Here. Yeah, it's just the one piece, which you don't even really get to see very much of. It's just that little guy there. And this part. So these two. Doink and dink and doink right there. But, yeah. Okay. So, let's get started. let's get started, shall we? P. We need P5. Okay. So you look on here, we have no P5. It's already gone. So we grab the other P tree. And that's going to be this guy here. But first things first, because I don't want to have to keep adjusting my vision all the time, just do that. Okay, so number 5, where'd you go? Here we are. Now once again, I will say, a lot of times these gray parts are kind of inner working stuff that you don't really see very much of. And I'll show you the example on the arm. Okay, so there are a lot of gray parts on the inside, but all you see really, you wind up seeing little parts of them. Okay, and that's about it. And even like on the shoulder here, yeah, you're going to see this, but this is going to go right against the body, and you're not going to see a lot of this. And not that there's anything really showing. You've got the nice big bulgy parts for the actual shoulder. If I take that off of there, okay, nice big round parts. But again, oh look, there's a nut mark right there. It's not perfect. Oh, guess what? It's now hidden and you're never going to see it, right? Underneath here, you're never going to really see any of this stuff under here. And that's what I've noticed with these Bandai kits. When you see a dark gray kind of color on the sprue, there's very little chance that you're going to see a lot of it unless you do something like bend your elbow out and have it really exposed like that, right? Which as soon as I do that, it's not, you don't see anything. So yeah, so what I do, I don't worry too much about getting rid of the nub marks on my dark gray pieces, because about 90% of the time you don't really see it, right? Yes, you do want to clean it up. You want the part to fit properly. That's always important, right? So you do want to clean it. You want to have it look nice. What did I say about that? I mean, shutting up and not saying anything while I'm cleaning up the part. Here I go right off the bat. I break my promise. Sorry, Mr. Editor. Editor happens to be me, by the way. But anyway, here's P5. So we got to have a couple of T's, T11 and T25. Okay, the nice thing about these, you don't really have to clean up the poly parts very much. So you hold this like this, and you're going to take this one, T25, and it's going to go in right there. Okay, slide right in just like that. Okay. Hello again. Great build, sir. Looking good as usual. Thank you. Began on the Tamiya P38. Now I know why people love these kits. Yes. Yes, they. From what I've heard, that's a nice kit to build. So we take our 11 and it goes in just like that. Okay. And we put that aside for now, because we've got to grab P7 and 8 and another poly T23. So T23 is right here. All right. I can't read your name from here. I need to make that bigger so I can see on the screen. Nico, yes. Nice to see you again, Nico. All right. So I got to grab P7 and 8. Grab my P. Right here. Blink, blink. Now, as I just showed you in the other arm, you're never really going to see the nub marks on these. They get hidden underneath the shoulder. And so once again, you don't have to clean them up too much. Not these ones anyway. Okay, just a second here. Okay, so now we're going to take this piece and we're going to take this guy here, and he's going to go in the middle just like this. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to take our little poly guy and he's got to go in. Now it's going to look like he goes in lengthwise, like this, but it's actually going in shortwise, like that. Okay. And then you put the other piece on, and you sandwich it all together. And now you've got a shoulder, and this piece can now bend like that. Okay, just like that. Now we're going to put that aside for now because we've got to do this part. This is going to be part of the elbow and lower arm. So back to the P tree, we want 11, 12, and 13. Okay. Great to see you too, thank you. So you're building and stream vids only on the weekends now? Too busy with work, I presume? Yeah, kinda. At first I was like, hey, I'm gonna stream after work when I get home during the week. And after a short time, it was like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't want to do this when I get home from work. I just want to sit and relax and watch TV and yeah, and not have the pressure, I guess, of streaming during the week. So basically, unless I've got a day off during the week, I don't really stream during the week. It's usually just on the weekends. I might stream like on a Friday night where I can stay up later because I don't have to get up at 4 in the morning on Saturday. So yeah, that's my explanation why I don't really stream during the week anymore. What else do I need? P11 and 13. Here's 13. Now 13 and 14 are part of the elbow. So when you do, I'm going to take 14 off right now because I know it's going to be coming up. I know this one's going to be coming up soon, right here, in the next little picture. P11, right here. So, yeah, so I do have Monday off, so I will be streaming on Monday as well. So I'm streaming today, I'm streaming tomorrow, and I'm streaming Monday. 3 days in a row. It's actually technically 4 because I had a stream last night too. Yeah. Okay. Now, with these cleaned up, oh, I forgot about this guy. How are you looking? I know what you mean. I'm a welder, so during the week I can't be bothered with modeling. Must be an age thing. I'm only 54. Yeah, I think 10 years ago probably be okay doing it. You know what I mean? But yeah, nowadays it's just like, nah, I just want to relax. And it actually, people might not realize it, but it actually does take a little bit of effort and a little bit of mental capacity to actually, especially to stream and build something. It's one thing to just sit and relax back and you just lay back and you just go and you do whatever and you do, you don't have to talk to anybody. But when you're actually streaming or you're doing a video and you actually want to be kind of entertaining or at least a little bit, you gotta have, if you're tired, it's gonna be really visible. Okay, so this guy goes like this in here, and then this piece, we have to make sure that this little notch is facing up, and it is going to go right here, just like that. Okay? And now we're going to grab a couple more pieces off of our P tree, 9 and 10. Okay? And this is basically his elbow shock that you get to see when you hyperextend his elbow. Okay, so we take this, and we take this, and they go in together like that. Okay? Just like that. Now, we take our somewhat assembled piece. This is going to go in a place that is totally different than what I'm seeing. Yes. So I have to bend this out a little bit like that. And then this little button here is going to go in this little hole right there. Okay, just like that. And now you see how this just conveniently went into that little spot? It snaps in like that. And that's going to do this. When you bend his elbow, that's going to activate those shocks. Okay? And now you take P14 and you sandwich it all together and make your little elbow section. Just like that. Okay? I learned that you better build a little piece together when you're not into it, when forcing it and make mistakes. You kind of feel when it's the right time. Yeah, kind of. If you're not really in the mood for it, then yeah, you're not going to enjoy it. For one, it's not going to be an enjoyable thing, and number two, you make a little mistake, and normally it might not affect you, but because you're really not in the mood in the first place, now you're mad, right? And now you get tendency to be a little harder on things, to use more force than you normally would. You wind up breaking things, and then you get more mad, and then your whole thing winds up in the garbage. Right? Pretty much, right? It's yeah. So we have our elbow kind of built, our inner workings, and again, that's how that shock system works. Just like that. It's a hydraulic system. The hydraulic system, yeah. Okay, so with this assembled, we're going to come down to here, and we need E2 number 4. So it tells you E1 and then E2, and you want number 4 off of them, right? You're doing left and right. So it doesn't matter whether you choose left as the E1 or right as the E1. That part doesn't matter. It's just you have to remember which one that you actually pulled apart from, because you're going to need both. So I'm going to need number 4, and that's this guy here that I pointed out a little short time ago. Okay, this guy here. Now I already know that this piece here is the bottom of his arm, right, his wrist, but we're going to get into that a little bit later, I believe. Right there, E2 number 2. And that's that. So I might as well take this off of here now, since I know I'm going to need it. That's going to be it for the E tree. I don't need any more off the E, I don't think. So I do need this. So I've noticed the black parts in this kit. They're not showing stress marks as easily as other kits that I've built, which is really nice. This one doesn't want to clean very nice. Come on. There we go. So yeah, the stress marks have become really easy to clean up on this kit. This one's just a little bit stubborn, that's all. They've come out really nice. The black parts are really coming up nice. It's really easy to clean up and get rid of the marks as you go along. That's been a really nice change, I guess, for this kit. Okay, so this guy goes down on the inside here, and it's got 1, 2, and 3 little pegs that line up on the inside of him. He goes just like that. Okay. And we move on to this page and we get onto this little setup here. So I need a T21 off of this tree, which is the other T21. So there's 2 of them. And all this is just a little poly thing or 2. Something like that. I just want to make sure this is flush here. There we go. And so that is going to go in right here. It goes a certain direction, as they point out, and it just sits like that. Okay, just like that. And then we need P2, 2 of them, and it almost went into the abyss. It was very close, and of course, these parts are kind of integral to another part going on. I'll show you on the other arm. So these two little guys, they are these two little gray marks right here and here, and they hold these two pieces on. And that's the only thing holding these on. So if you happen to lose one of these, you're going to wind up having to glue that on, because there's no other way that holds on. Got a last question for you today. You're building stuff since a long time now. What are your overall best things you've learned along the way? Any tips? Let's see. So yeah, I've been building models basically since I maybe built my first model when I was like 9 years old. I did take a lot of time off during my teen years because I felt girls were prettier than cars, and so there was a few years in my teens where I didn't build any models. I would say patience is a virtue. Use two hands to steady your knife when you're trying to trim things. That'll help a lot. And even doing things when you're painting. If you're trying to paint something small and get a small detail, and you're holding it up in the air and you're trying to paint, you might be a bit shaky. A lot of times I'll actually rest my hands against my other hand while I'm holding it, so I can get in there and paint something really delicate. And just when I just want to touch it with a brush or something like that. That's a good thing. Sometimes, have your elbow on the desk and stuff like that, your hands actually resting on the desk. That helps steady your hands when you're trying to paint. And it kind of helps that too with cutting stuff and trimming pieces too. The other tip I would say, if you want to cut, if you're cutting, use multiple passes with light pressure rather than trying to do it in one go. That's going to be a good thing. I would say those are probably my top tips when it comes to building stuff like this. Not necessarily Gundams, because Gundams, well, they don't even need paint and they don't need glue, right? Most of the time. You find the odd part here or there that actually is just a little bit loose and it's going to need to be glued, but for the most part you don't. And that's one of the cool things about Gundam. It's a totally different build than it is building, the Tamiya P-38, right? Totally different thing. This piece here, this body section, there's not a single piece of glue on this. I didn't have to trim any pieces at all, and it fits flawlessly. That's a Bandai kit, right? That's just the way they are. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that would be it. It's kind of a long-winded tip, I guess, but yeah. So let's see here. We've got these little oval slots, and that's what these two guys go into. And they go with, they're kind of angled, so you want them angled facing down, and they just sit in there like that. Okay? And they want you to kind of slide them all the way to this side, to the inside actually, and have them shake. They show you on this page how they want you to have them sitting. Okay? I think I have them the right way. We'll find out soon enough. Okay? So now we can put this bottom part on, but I got to clean it up a little bit, I think. Yes. Okay. So this guy goes on the bottom, and he's going to go in the same direction this does, like this. So this poly thing is going to fit in right in that little spot. So what you want to have the poly cap line up. See, now it's lined up perfectly, so now it's in there. It doesn't move or anything, but the poly cap needs to go in there because his hand actually goes in there, okay? And that's why you need to have that lined up, okay? All right, so now we're there. We've got these pushed in like they want here. Now we need P6 and B6. Oh, so P number 6 is this guy here. There we go. And we need B2 number 6. Number 6. Because we need B1-6 and B2-6, but they're the same part. So I guess I could have. Thanks for the tips and chat. Need to go now. Have a great day and looking forward to your next build. You're a great person. Well, thank you so much, Nico. Thank you. And have a good day. And yeah, we'll see you next time. All right. So these two guys simply just go on these little guys here. Dink and doink. They wind up being these little thrusters that kind of get hidden, and well, for the most part, you don't see them. I know there's some gimmicks to this kit where parts open up and expose the jet thrusters, like especially in the shoulder. You've got these three here, and that's cool, right? But you got the top part here. If that goes down, this can come out. This lifts up, and all of a sudden, hey, we've got thrusters underneath there, right? So that's kind of cool. So I know there's a few parts in this already that are like that, and so these are there. They're in the arms. They wind up being in here, and you can't really see them. And unless they want you to actually take these off, you're never really going to see them in there. If I move this up, they're inside here, and you can't really see them. So, yeah. Anyway, so this is assembled just like that. Done. Now we move down to here. Now those guys, they get put in right in here. So these two little points, they actually stick out right there and there. Okay? And it just sits like that. Of course, I have an ugly nut mark. You're not going to see, but I need to make sure it's going to fit. It's going to fit together. Okay. So now we need A2. Hey, here we go. A2 number 9. This is A1. Number 9's already gone. So A2 number 9. Sorry, that's my terrible version of number 9 by Tiara. And what do we need? We need K9. All right. So these guys are going to go on. So we can put these two together like this. Well, not like this, because that's backwards. This goes on the inside, like so. Okay. Presses together. Just like that. Okay. And now it goes on here. And it goes on with this facing up. And so we want things to line up nicely. And so we want this square to line up in that square hole. And that will make these two guys line up with those two holes. If you can hear me over the plane. Now, see, now these guys are supposed to be friendly and stay in their spots. There we go. And you see how those two little guys that we did up here, these two little pieces of now they're sticking out like that. Okay. And that's really all they do. I guess they are supposed to be able to slide in and out. Like slide in and out like that. And maybe that's what these are supposed to do. But they don't really cooperate. I guess they're just a little tight maybe. So there we go. There's your gimmick, which is supposed to expose the jets on the inside, I guess. right? You still can't really see them. If I bend the elbow, you can. If I get up in there now, you can see them, right? See them down in there. This camera, you guys, right here, right? Now, get over there on this camera, on you. Sort of, right? It's limited, and then you just snap them back in, and there you go. Now, what I actually did wind up doing is I did glue these red pieces to those gray ones, just because they're just a little too easy to fall off, and they're just kind of flimsy, and yeah. I am tempted to glue this piece to this too. I might wind up doing that. I don't know for sure. We'll see. Okay, so these are together. I need P19. I didn't get P19 out of here. Of course, having already built one arm, I am tempted to just start taking a bunch of parts off of the runners. But if I do that, then what'll happen is I'll wind up having a bunch of parts on my desk, and I'm searching for parts constantly, and I don't like doing that. So this guy, all he does is he goes in here. He's got a little peg that goes into that little hole, and that's it. And then he gets lined up. Just like that. I don't know why my phone thinks I'm talking to it. Okay. Let's see, where was I? So we got that put on, and that's it for now. So we need H2, 3, and 4 off of our H tree. So once again, we have two H trees, right? One is almost empty because I've already assembled an arm and a leg. So we need 2, 3, and 4 off of this one. And that's going to be this, this, and this. There's number 2. Three, 4. And on the next one we want H1, so I might as well grab that since I've got the tree in my hand. Clean up, which means I'm getting quiet. Okay. All right, so we have to put this piece over the top, and it goes like this. See, these two plates, they just slide into those slots, just like that. Done. Okay? But I'm not really happy with how this nub mark has come out, so I want to try and make that disappear a little better. It's my own little bit of OCD. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. Okay, let's put that back on. There we go. Okay. Now we've got to take these two guys, and they're going to go. See this little slot here? That's going to go down over top of this. Okay, and that's going to go just like this. They only go on one side. It's a little bit tricky getting them lined up the very first time because it's tight, right? I have had one pop off on me when I was trying to put it on the first time, and it's like, hey, don't do that. That's not very nice. Especially when I'm trying to get it all lined up, and yeah. See, it's almost like I have them backwards. I have to refer to my other arm. No, I have them correct. It's just something is not right. This is not, I don't have this lined up. That's why. I have to take this apart. Okay. This is going to be a little difficult. I don't have this lined up. See, this little tab here is supposed to line up with this little slot. This gap that I can do that with, that shouldn't be there. And it should be flush. It should be just like that. Okay. Now, I don't want that to ever happen again. I'm tempted to glue it, but I don't think I have to. So let's put these back in. Remember, they just sit there. They kind of float there. And then we put this back together. I already lost a piece. I lost one of my guys. Where did you go? Ah, you're right in front of me. Thank you for not falling on the floor. That was very kind of you. Okay. These are sitting a little bit better now. Okay. Now let's try this again. With that problem solved, wrong side. This goes down over there. Yeah, see, suddenly it's a better fit, right? Suddenly much better. Bingo, snaps into place just like that, like it's supposed to. Yes. Straighten out the arm. There we go. Much better. Okay, now we got this piece. This guy goes around the bottom here. Ooh, that's terrible. I thought I cleaned that up. Anyway, good thing there are two arms for reference. Yes, that's true. That is very true, Uala. So this little ridge here goes into that slot. Just like that. Okay, and now we finally get put our shoulder on. And all it does is just press down like that. And that's it. And now we get to put our hand on. The hand, of course, I've already taken it off the tree. So here's our hand. Okay. And it just snaps in right there. It's not really a snap because of the poly cap, it just kind of presses into it, right? And you get a little bit of movement, you get some movement in the wrist like that, right? And you can turn it around. It does come out fairly easy because it's only being held in with a poly cap, right? It's not like a lot of other kits where it's more of a real firm, you know, snap into place kind of thing, right? So that's it for his arm. So now he has two arms. But we got to do another shoulder. And so that's next. So with two arms made, we now have to do a shoulder. So we need to grab the B tree. We need B number 10, now for the B2 this time. Okay, just like that. And then we need P. P again, P, 3, 4, and 21. And drop it on the floor. Pick it up in a sec. I want number 21. Alright, so first things we do is we take this guy and we put our little jets on him. Just like that. Now what I like to do, because with the jets, I like to actually put a little dab of glue on them, just on the inside. I just find that they are a little bit loose, and I don't want them ever coming apart on me when I don't want them to. So we're going to take this, I'm going to take one of these, I'm going to put it together like this, and we're going to do the same with this side. And now we've got a little jet pack that can rotate, and that's going to come into play a little bit later, and you'll see why. Okay, so we got to flip the page now, so which means I got to take my little nubs and get rid of them, and now flip. All right, so we have our little jet. Put that aside for now. We need P16 and 17, 18. Okay, 16, 17, 18. Once again, big internal structure pieces that you're not really going to see too much of, and definitely not see the sprue marks, which is really cool. So we're going to take this, we're going to take one of these guys, hold them like that, we're going to take our little poly cap, and it's going to go in this little hole. It's going to go in this little hole. No, really, it's going to go in this hole. Like that. And we're going to have it angled out, kind of like that. Sort of on a 45, kind of, sort of, good enough, right? We're going to do the same on this one. Okay? Just like that. And bend it down so it's about 45 degrees. What am I doing at 45 to? Maybe this line here. 45, boom, just kind of like that, sticking out. Okay. Now we're going to take our little jet thruster guys, and they're going to go up top, and where they're going to go is right in here. No, where do they go? They do go there. Why is that so loose? I don't remember that being so loose on the other side. Backwards maybe? I was trying to put it there. It goes there. Okay. Like this. And this guy, he goes here. I had it on the wrong spot. So he goes here. Now there's not a lot of movement. You get that much movement when you put him in there. Okay. So keep that in mind. That's how much movement your shoulder is going to have. Right? And that's all you get. And then we put these two together. Just like so. And you say, oh, look at those ugly nub marks. Well, guess what? That's going to be covered. You're never going to see it. You'll never know that they're there. Okay, so there's that for now. Now we move over. We need K7. K7. Okay, so K7 goes on right here and does a very nice, lovely job of hiding your nub marks on the top there. Isn't that cool? That is really cool. Again, another testament to Bandai's engineering. Okay, we're going back to the A tree and the P tree. So we need P23. P23. We're going back to the A's. We need A number 4 and 5. There we go, 4 and 5, okay? Dark gray sprue means probably never going to see the nub marks. Okay, so we're going to take these, and this is kind of a one-shot deal. So what they want to do is these two pieces go on this first, and so it kind of lines up. You can kind of see how it's going to go in like that, okay? And then this does the same thing on this side. See how that kind of lines up? Okay. There's not a lot. You can press it and get to little tabs, like a little slot there that's got a little tab. See? This tab here is going to go into that little hole, right? And so that's where you get a few little points of friction where it's going to hold itself together, right? There will be more, but for now that's all you get. And now this goes on here. Now, what I found a little bit tricky on the other arm, this little panel, okay, has to go on these little slots, one here and one here. And it's a little bit tricky at first to get it lined up, and then all of a sudden it just went. And so I'll see if I encounter that again here. It's one of those things where it's a pain in the neck, and then all of a sudden it just goes together and you're not even sure why.
Moments later.
There we go. Got it. Alright. We're together. Okay? Now, with that together, we need F1 or F2, number 7 and 8. And we need stickers. That's these two big guys here. Okay? Big honkin' main part of the shoulder. Big honkin' main part of the shoulder. And hopefully, I don't break this piece like I did on the other arm. I didn't tell you guys about that. I didn't tell you. Because it's a little embarrassing. I was trying to, how do you say, the whole movement gimmick, like I showed you earlier on how the shoulder opens up. I was trying to do that, not quite 100% on how it opened, and it wound up flying apart and it was broken. Anyway. Okay. Just in case you guys are wondering why I'm a little bit quiet, it's because I'm trying to give my editor a little bit of an easier time of knowing which parts to edit out and which ones to keep. The ones where I'm talking, obviously we're going to keep those. Ones where I'm just rubbing the thing with my file, yeah, we're not going to bother keeping those. And I'm not happy with the nub marks on this piece. That's going to suck because those are kind of exposed. But anyway, we need stickers. Now, in the kit is a little sticker sheet. This guy here, okay? Now, as you can tell, I've already taken a few of them off of there because they get placed in a couple of strategic little places. Now, this piece needs cleaning up. Alright, that looks a little better. Anyway, so we need to take on this guy, we want number 3 and 4. So number 3 and 4, these ones here. What I find easiest is start it with the X-Acto knife and then I grab it with my tweezers. And that way I'm not grabbing it with my fingers. They only go on one way, so if it doesn't look like it lines up, then obviously it ain't gonna line up, right? It's not supposed to be on that side. So, one thing I have noticed is these stickers are very, very thin, extreme thin material. But they do stick pretty good. Can't really complain about that. They stick good, and all it does is gives it a little bit of a color variation on there. And there's one little spot right there. It's kind of hard to pick up on the camera. I'm sorry about that. Just have to live with it. There we go. Okay, so that one's done. Then we got a couple to put on here, and it's going to go there. Okay. So those are number 1 and 2. There we go. Alright. So our stickers are on. Okay? Just like that. And same deal. It just adds a bit of a color variation for that little tiny part there. Right? That's all it does. Okay. Alright. So with those stickers on, we get to put our parts on. Now, is there any particular order? Not really. So, this guy goes down under here. It kind of lines up. Sort of, kind of. I don't remember. He goes like this. Okay. slides up like that. See all those little silver slots? And that's how he lines up. And he just lines up like that, he just presses into place, and he's done. Just like that. Now on my other shoulder, because I broke this, I wound up having to put a couple of spots of glue on there to get them in there. Now the end result, you can't tell that it's been broken. I'm like really fantastically happy about that. But yeah. And then this guy goes on top. Now how he goes is this peg here goes into that little hole. Okay? So it lines up kind of like that. It lines up doing that. Just like that. Okay? And that's it for this part. So next, we're going to get into our sides. Okay, so we got to do B11. It says B111, but it might be B2 in this case. Yes, there is only 111, so. There we go. We'll be getting to this guy soon, but not right, just quite yet. Okay, so that's B. Now we need H11 and K6. Big random amount of H11. And we're also going to need H5 and 6, which are right here. Bing and bang. Okay. H5 and 6, we got H11. We need K6. 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 All right, let's get to cleaning it. Okay, so our parts are cleaned up. Now we can put them together. So, we're going to take this guy here, and we're going to take our B211, and he's going to go like this. Okay, and at the same time, we're going to take our H11 and put it here, on this side. And then we're going to cover up our B211 with this guy, and make that neat little pattern that they get there. Then we're going to take our two sides here, and we're going to cover up this gray stuff. Just like that. We're going to do the same on this side. Just like that. Okay, and that's this part of the shoulder done. Okay, now we will keep going on. We need some B25s. Bing bang bong. We need P15 and P20. Oh, and 22. And we need 22. This guy here. Okay. And that's going to be it. We're going to need A and we're going to need F, but that will be in a minute. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is, if I just drop these in, they're just going to sit there, right? And they might just fall out like that. So what you have to do is you take this and you put it on there first, like that. And then these little yellow guys, they go in there. And now they kind of press fit just a little tiny bit into those. But again, I like to glue them. Just because I don't trust that fit very much. And so I just go on the inside, add a little drop of glue, and there we go. So we're going to take this, and now we need A2 number 3. A2 number 3, this big silver guy right here. There we go. And then we're going to need F2 number 6. And that's him right there. So now, more cleanup. Alright, so now that we have these done, we're going to take this P22 and he's going to go up on top of these engines, okay, or jets, whatever you want to call them, and he's going to slide down, kind of, see these 2 pins? They're going to go in those little slots, okay, like this. Now, does it snap in? I don't remember if it snaps in. I think it does. Maybe not. Just sits in there. Okay, just sits in there. Okay, so it's like this. Okay, and now we're going to take our silver guy, and he's going to go up. And he's going to go up on this side. It's kind of like this. And then kind of line up in there. It's kind of a little weird game that it plays, getting lined up, and it just kind of sits there like that. And they show you how it's supposed to go, okay, and how it's all supposed to look when it's kind of together, okay. And then we take this guy and we kind of use him as a sandwich, and you see this slot here, here, and here is where this lines up, and it kind of supports the two so that they're not so flimsy, kind of making a bit of a sandwich to them. And you gotta make sure it's all snapped in together. It kind of makes it so it doesn't fall apart so easy, right? But I believe what you're supposed to do, now we take H7 and we put it on there too. But these are supposed to face down. They want you to, before putting this on, they want you to rotate the jets, which I did not do. And now that they come off,
Later.
there we go, and that's how it's supposed to sit. And then this goes on. Make sure it's lined up there and there. And now everything's sitting properly. Thank you very much. Okay. There we go. So that's together. Now, we need H7. H number 7, this guy here. You guys have been watching me for the last 2 hours or so. Thank you. I know it can be a long process. Okay, now this guy goes over top of these guys. Okay. See these little slots? That's what these little tabs go into. So it's just a matter of spreading it a little bit to get it to fit over top, and then kind of snapping it in place. Just like that. Alright? Alright, guys? So you ready for this? Remember those 2 little pieces that we put in here at like 45-degree angles? Right in here and here? These 2 little guys? Remember those? That's what this goes into. These 2 tabs go into those. And that's why we put them at a like 45-degree angle, so that we could put this in. Now of course they're rubber, so you just kind of push them in until you're lined up and you're done. And there's your rockets that go in the shoulder. And then we put this on the arm. And we have now another arm assembled. We now have this arm and this arm. Our arms are done. Yay! Yay! Let's put this garbage away. That's it, guys. Those are the arms. 1 and 2. And our body. Just like that. And they're going to go in there like this. Can press them on, there's no harm in putting it on now. Slide it down. See that on here. Push it together. And there we go. There we have it. We have the top half of our, I was going to call it the Sinanju. The top half of the Sazabi done. Just like that. Just like that, guys. And I'm already feeling some looseness because of the shoulder, and that's why I'm tempted to glue the shoulders to the arms, because you get this kind of wiggliness, right? You try and move the arm, and you do some, because you want to pose it, and all of a sudden this thing comes loose, and it's like this. And that's what I hate about those, right? I don't like that. And then you wind up, you got to take the whole arm off now, and that's all falls apart, right? So I'm tempted. I want to put some glue around here to glue this piece on so that it stays on here permanent, right? Unlike other kits I've built, this one actually has, see now it wants to stay, it actually has a slot at the top. You see, it's not just a round circle. If I put my hand in the way, you can see that's not a round circle, it's got a flat top edge, just like this does. And so it's not supposed to rotate on the arm like this. There are some other kits where it does that because they're round and the shoulder pad rotates. This one's not supposed to rotate. And so that's why I'm tempted. You only get this much movement anyway out of the shoulder piece. If that's glued on, you get this much movement and that's it. What I'm hesitant, the reason why I'm hesitant to glue it is because I don't want to accidentally get any glue in here and prevent this from rotating like it's supposed to, right? I'm supposed to be able to rotate the arm out, you know. See, it's a little bit difficult now, especially because it's loose. Be able to, you know, have the arm extend out like that kind of thing. I'm supposed to be able to do that. So yeah, I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to glue it or not. I might not. But I am tempted. I am tempted to glue it. But there we go. And so, that is the top half of the Sazabi finished. What's next, you might ask? We have the waist. The waist is next. And the waist is what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to do the waist tomorrow. And then, depending on how involved it is, let's see. Let me just take a quick look. I'm going to turn the head because I don't want to break this horn off. Taking a look at the waist, how involved is the waist? We've got this center piece here to going together. The top goes on. We've got a place on the front and underneath. And a whole page of a few parts. It doesn't look too long. I might be able to get the waist done maybe in an hour and a half tomorrow. Maybe. And then after the waist, we got the leg. I've already got a leg built. I'll show you here. Here's one of his legs. Okay. So I've already got this built. This is done. So I've just got to build the other one, right? And after that, now I already know that the leg took me about 4 hours. Okay, I did it in 2 days. I spent about 2 hours on Tuesday and 2 hours on Wednesday. The leg is pretty involved. There's a lot. Multiple pages to the leg, see? Multiple pages, finally. But yeah, and then we'll have the backpack to do. Backpack's no big deal. So, I think maybe if I got time, I'll do the waist and the backpack tomorrow. I would like to be able to do that and get those done. and then spend Monday on the legs. And if I can get that done, then she'll be done. And I will have completed this Sazabi in a weekend. Well, not really, but close. Anyway, that's it, guys. That is both Sazabi's arms. And yeah. So, I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you for coming out. I want to thank you for the chat today. That was really cool. It's nice. And nice to actually have someone to chat with. It's different and it's fun. I like it. You guys, if you've made it this far in the video, if you've come this far, why not hit the like button in the middle there? That would be really awesome, and that would help me out a lot. And over here, if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. It's really cool. And you just, you'll see when I make new videos and stuff. It'll come up in your little news feed or whatever you want to call it. Down in the description box, I'm going to put a link to my razor file that I got from Gun Primer. This is my absolute favorite tool that I have purchased for making Gundams. This thing gets rid of those nub marks. You see me using it all the time on these kits. It is fantastic. It is worth the money. I am not sponsored. I just love this thing, and I highly recommend it. I will put a link to where I bought it from in the description box. I'll also put links to my Twitch channel and my Instagram, where you can go on my Twitch channel and you can follow me on there, and you can watch me live, and you can talk to me live, just like these lovely people did. And yeah, if you want to see still pictures of things that I've built in the past, I upload those onto my Instagram, and you can go on my Instagram and check those out there if you feel like it. So with that, I'm going to call it a day. We've got lots done. Even though it's one arm, it's a lot, right? You watched me do it. It's quite a bit. So, like I said, with that, we're going to call it a day. That'll be it for now. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. And we'll see you all in the next one.